All right, everybody, we will start in just a few minutes. We want to give everybody time to just come and join us. Thank you, and we'll see you in a little bit. Good morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining us on this rainy morning. My name is Sue Engelage, and I am the Outreach Services Director. We are continuing with our second series of Meet the Panelists for our big awareness event that will be in October. More details to come next time. With me today, I have Gwendolyn Jennings, who is the Director of Shelter Services. She's just going to tell us a little bit about Shelter Life. Gwen, would you like to introduce yourself?
First of all, like I said, my name is Gwendolyn Jennings, and formerly before I came over to RACS, I worked at CMCA as a family development specialist up under Angela Hurst's leadership, who is now our current executive director here at RACS. And while working at CMCA, I also worked part-time as a shelter manager at the time. I did that for 2 years, and then I was asked by the former executive director would I come over and do case management. I accepted the challenge. I did that for 3 years, and then in 2020 I was asked would I take over the director of shelter services here. I accepted, and here I am now. I know that this is my purpose for being here. This is my passion, working with the women, just like our, I was just gonna mention about that we're here, and that's, to have supports, survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, through our advocacy, through shelter management, and through our counselors that we have here, and also just having, RACS is our healing place here, so.
I like that. RACS is our healing place for our guest here. Now, Gwen, tell me a little bit. You said you started out as a part-time shelter manager,
Yes.
and you went up to case management,
Correct.
and now the director of shelter services.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about what happens when someone first calls our hotline.
We take our hotline calls very seriously. When we answer the advocates, when they answer the phone, we want to make sure that those calls, we take all of them serious, and that they're in a safe place. As long as they in the domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, whatever their current situation is, they're accepted into shelter. As long as we have, room, here at the shelter, we will accept them here. And also, we have guests that sometimes, like when they're here, they may leave and go back to their situation. It's okay if they come back if it doesn't work out. As long as we have room, they're accepted back here, in the shelter. At one time, it seemed like it probably was like a revolving door. They leave, they come back, but it's okay. They're adults. They can try. We try to give them the tools that they need. We give them a safety plan. We review that safety plan with them when they decide to leave the shelter. But they always welcome back, and even once they leave, we still work with them, our case managers work with them, counselors, if they want to come to group without therapists, we still provide those services for them.
Okay, and for everyone watching, that hotline is 573-634-4911, and that is 24/7, 365 days a year. Someone is always picking up that phone. Now, Gwen, tell me a little bit more. What are the requirements to come into shelter?
Okay, as long as they're going through that domestic violence, sexual assault or stalking, they're welcome, like I said before, to come into the shelter. The advocates, they do a thorough have a listening ear to see what their needs are. Everybody's situation is different. And when they come here into the shelter, it can be kind of trauma for them. All of them have trauma when they come here, and we provide those services, for them. So we try to give them that ease that they're at home, they're at peace. We give them that time just to observe everything that they're going through. We don't try to rush them through anything. We just, like I said, meet them where they're at and just see what their needs are. How can I help you? Can I help you with housing? Sometimes they don't want to relocate. Sometimes they just need that space. It could be that their home that they're leaving from eventually later want to go back to their home. We have the court advocacies that can help them if they, need some kind of assistance with that, with the outreach. And our Cole County advocate that's here in town also, that will help them through those challenging things that they need to take care of. Sometimes, like I said, they just need to get away and go back. It could be their home and just need that order protection or whatever that's taken care of so they can go back to their place. If not, they're here, no certain time limit. As long as they're working with the case management, trying to get that housing situation did. We have a lot of collaboration within the community that help with birth certificates. They may need that photo ID just to get their social security card. So we work with a lot of things like that.
So just to reiterate for our audience, for qualification for shelter, they need to be in a domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking situation.
Correct.
Is that, not for shelter, is it like, does that have to be something recent, or is that something that can be long-term? Like say they were the DV incident a couple years ago, or is that just?
We try to work with ones because the space that we do have here, and because of COVID, we only house like 9 families or single families. When first we had 36, 4 beds in each rooms, which is 9 rooms. So we try, if they're in that need, we try to focus on that need right there where we can help them in their situation.
Okay, and you were talking about, you were talking about our outreach kind of thing that you were talking about. So just because they're not in shelter, do they not qualify for services?
Oh no, of course. We also, when we answer that hotline call, some guests probably don't want to come into shelter, but we make sure that we offer them and let them know. We have counselors. You can come in for group. We can schedule appointment with the counselors, case management. You can schedule appointment with them, even our advocacy. Like I said, we do the 9 counties, which is Boone, of course, Cole County, Callaway, Marys County, Miller, Morgan, Montauk, Osage, and Gastonade County. So we reach all those service areas. So.
Okay, so we talked about what would get a person qualified for shelter. Now, what does daily shelter life look like?
It's different for everyone, because you can come in with one family that have kids, so the case management assists them with school-age kids, getting them enrolled in school, getting them enrolled, maybe Head Start. So that's a different situation right there, because kids, they have trauma too. They come into this big building, this place, they meeting other kids, the women, they meeting other women, but because of the community living, we have 3 kitchens. They share a kitchen space here, the living room space here, the dining room. We also have like a patio where they can sit out and things like that. They get to know one another. We have a group house meeting on Monday nights where the women, they can discuss issues or any kind of concerns. So we can kind of filter through those and make sure everybody is getting their needs met.
So their needs met. Now that's different for everyone, correct?
Oh, correct, yes.
And can you elaborate more when you say that you meet them where they're at? So can you explain more what you mean by that?
I may come in and I may not need housing. I just need, like I said before, just a place just to stay for a while till I get my situation figured out. But sometimes I just need a place just to think, Then it may be a guest that's coming from another state that needs housing. So that's what the case manager, that's what she would do. She would sit down and analyze, like, okay, it's your goal. Tell me what your goal is. I'm gonna try to help assist you with that goal. It's not my goal, it's your goal. But once we establish that plan, that goal plan, then that's where we'll go forth and get the needs, everything that you need.
And that's different for everyone, correct?
Oh, correct.
Because you did mention that some people, you have partnerships. Some people may not come in with their birth certificates. How often is that?
Oh, it happens a lot, and that's why with the safety plan, when they leave here, I let them know after we help assist you with that. Make sure that you put those in a safe place. So if you find that things are not working the way that you want them to work, you had a go bag or whatever, your purse or whatever, that you can just grab those important things that you need. We have a wonderful collaboration with a Common Ground that really assists all our guests with those birth certificates and photo IDs.
So the Director of Shelter Services, you do it all. So do you have help, or do you just run around doing everything?
I have a team. I could not do it without my team with the shelter advocates, doing the things that they need to do with our guests, helping them. We all work. Even with you, we all work as a team here, through the advocates, case manager. We do our once a meet, like family conference, where we discuss the guests, so we can make sure each one of them, you may know something that I may not know. So when we get together at this round table, we are discussing each guest to make sure that it's not just that's everybody here as a team that's making sure that they get their needs met.
Right, so the shelter advocates, they are really the first responders.
They're the front line when someone calls on that hotline call, when they ring that bell and need some kind of assistance. They are very, very important, because they take care of it all. Even when I'm not here, 24 hours, they answer that hotline call, taking care of the guest needs. Or so just a caller, yes.
So they're the ones answering that hotline?
Yes.
So we talked about last time with Angela, we talked about some of the renovations that are going on in the shelter. Well, now that they're complete, between what the shelter used to be like versus now, what do you feel? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts?
Well, because of the COVID, we was able to renovate, and now the guest rooms that they have now, before, what they shared one bath. You may be in your room, I can be in mine, even though the door's locked, but we shared that one bathroom. So now they have more privacy now. We have microwaves in their rooms. They have a refrigerator. They have their own private bath. And they have their own security, like combination, that's what I should say, on their doors, for their own privacy. So it is so wonderful the way everything has improved. They share kitchens here. We have 3 kitchens now. All shelter services up here on one floor now. They have a time schedule that they go in the kitchen. They cook their own meals. Like I said, we have the sitting room with the TV. They can come in here, watch TV. We have the dining area. If the kids want to, sit at the table, do a puzzle, whatever that they want to do. They also have like the little sitting deck that they can go out and just breathe in the air, take a smoke, whatever that they have to do.
So this shelter is actually set up for women and children.
Yes.
When we get the call on the hotline for a male, what do we do then?
Okay, we also assist them. We have, I know we had one caller where they just needed food. They had a place to go, but they just needed food. So the shelter advocates, they will provide them, give them food if we have it, give them resources to the local food banks here also. If we have to assist them in a hotel, we will do that, since we can't house them there. The main thing here is being safe, and that's our main goal.
So we talk about safety all the time. What does safety look like here?
Okay, as far as safety, even though when they come into the shelter, we try to let them know you don't need to let the user know your location here, because then you have to relocate. So you're being very careful when you're out in the community, watching your whereabouts, where you at, where you going, and just letting the shelter advocates know, hey, I may be back in about 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Like I said, they're all adults, but we do have that connection where we all talk and try to know where everyone is at, okay?
So with that relocation, if that were to happen, that's for their safety.
Yes.
So if their abuser found them, it's for their safety.
Yes.
But safety is our number one priority.
Correct.
So we talk about safety and we talk about our safety plan. There's one thing I want to talk about. We talk about our Safe at Home program. Well, can you elaborate what that is?
Okay, that's what we have our advocate that does this Safe at Home program. I can do that as well. They even if they're here in the shelter and don't want their mail to come back to their old address, through the Secretary of State, that's where that Safe at Home is, and we would do the application. Sit down with them and assist them with doing an application.
Now, for our viewers out there, when someone first comes into shelter, we're not requiring them to make any reports at all. That's on them. That's what they decide to do. Like if they want to press charges, we can.
We just let them know that those services are available for them.
And our advocates are there as a helping hand.
Yes.
So a lot of our ladies come here. Are they filling out ex partes? And what is an ex parte?
It just depends on what's going on with that situation. Because I'm telling you now, we have a lot that come in that don't want to press those charges against the abuser. They still have that fear. They still love them. They still care about them. So it's up to them. We don't rush them into doing that. So they're referred to one of the advocates to assist with those ex partes.
And what is an ex parte?
Okay, the ex parte, when they get with their advocate to do this, that's the information that she was assist them with at the courthouse, and it's for the abuser to stay that certain amount of distance away from him.
Okay, so it's not a restraining order?
The restraining order is kind of different that Rhonda does with them.
Okay.
And then sometimes we have the clients that need to go back into that home and get their clothing or whatever that they want. I can't tell them not to. And they can do a standby order with the police to go and get the things. They just have to know to go and grab those things.
Let's see. Do we have any questions online? No questions online? We are sitting in this beautiful space. Later on after the video, we'll kind of like zoom and like show it around. But we are in this beautiful space, our new updated living room. Now, I remember when I first started here, it was very different, and now it's more of a uplifting, more of a hopeful feel. Do you feel the same way? Do our ladies?
Oh, wow. It's so much brighter. I mean, it's just so wonderful compared to how it was, because I know where the kitchen is now. That used to be your office over there. It also used to be when I was here, the shelter manager's office. So it is so inviting in here now when they come here. It's just pleasant. It's like you make the feel of being at home.
Oh, that's amazing. The feel of being at home. And that's what we want them to feel. We want them to feel safe here. We want them to feel like they're at home. But we also want them to work their plan so that they can heal.
Right. And some plans may be longer than others and shorter than the other person. And we also collaborate with the Habitat store here. We assist them with furniture, because you have some that come in that don't have any furniture, don't have anything put up in storage. So Rex also assists with furniture. We also assist with clothing through the Salvation Army. We give them vouchers also too, to go get clothes there. We also collaborate with Dreams to Reality. We have women that's going to school, looking for a job. So they can go there, dress to success, and get items that they need for the interview or to obtain a job.
Now, this is just me playing devil's advocate. Some of our viewers may not, or some other people who maybe they do understand this, maybe they do know. But domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking, is that just affecting one part of the society?
It's all over. A lot of things that we don't hear about, we don't know. A lot of things are not reported. So the ones that come to us, we give them our undivided attention and make sure that their goals are met. And that's what we want to be known for, positive.
What about those success stories? Do we have success stories? What about them?
We try to do success stories all the time. When the guests leave here, they also give us feedback. We have a lot of success stories with housing. I had one in particular, had a job here in the community. I met her and she had asked me, "Do you remember who I am?" And she was giving me feedback of how wonderful that Rax had helped her, and now she's working locally here, in Jefferson City, So we have a lot of success stories. We help them with their housing deposits, you know, they may just needed that aspect just to get into that place that they needed to get in.
So a success story is different from everyone.
Oh, yes. Oh,
and
yes.
just like a plan. So
Yes.
someone may come in and maybe they just need to sleep it off for a couple hours.
That's right.
Or maybe they need to be here for a year, which we have had. Like
That's
you
why
said.
it's no certain time, because my experience in trauma is probably different from yours. Everybody's needs are different. And then just to watch the women share and talk among themselves, that's a healing right there also too. Yeah, they help one another.
So we talk about trauma. Now, what does the shelter advocates, because like we say, you know, they're the front line. When someone comes in traumatic, I know they have the training they need to do that. But what is some examples of things that they might do to help someone who is?
They calm them down, you know, that still voice, that just quietness, letting them know that you're in a safe place. Just take your time. We don't have to rush through paperwork. We don't have to do any of that. I want to make sure that you're good. I want to make sure that you're in the right place, you know, and just giving them that insurance to let them know RACS is here for you.
Now we have a policy here, once a RACS client, always a RACS client. Can you explain that policy?
Yes, once they leave, like I said, they can always come back for group case management. And sometimes they just call just to give me their success story, let me know, oh, I'm doing fine, just to check in with us. So we had that kind of relationship, you know, with our guests. So yeah, I had one lady to call me last week. Her ceiling fell in, and when she left, we had already assisted her with furniture. But it's okay, she's in a need. So what we do, we assist her with more furniture to help her get back on her feet. Because you never know what's going to happen and what's going to go on once you leave here.
That's amazing that we're able to provide that service for someone
Right.
who is no longer here, but still knows they can rely on us. That is an amazing feeling.
Right.
I think that's everything I have. Gwen, did you have anything else you want to say to the audience, maybe about hopeful if someone is going through a situation of DV, SA, or stalking?
Yeah, that this is a positive place, and if you know you having to get out of that relationship, it doesn't have to be physical. A lot of people think, oh, you know, I can see this. It doesn't have to be the bruises. It could be mentally, you know, emotional that you're going through. We're here to assist you.
So I want to repeat that. It's not just DV, or it's not just physical.
Right.
And physical is anything from pushing to hitting to biting to slapping, but it's also that mental and emotional.
You could be hiding the car keys. I may have to stay in the house till you get back. You keeping money from me. Doing those kind of things like that. That can really take a mental toll on you.
So we want to tell them, our viewers, you're not alone. If you are going through a DV, SA, or domestic violence, stalking, or sexual assault situation, give us a call today, and our hotline number is 573-634-4911. Gwen, thank you so much again for coming and speaking with me today. Join us next month as we do our next live stream. We will have our victim advocate, Rhonda, here with me.
All right, it's been wonderful. Thank you.